In this video, we are going to solve each of the following quadratic equations by factoring. First, let's take a look at A. X squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. In order to factor this, we want to find two numbers that multiply to negative 10, but add to 3. So we know that minus 2 times 5 equals negative 10, and negative 5 times 2 equals negative 10. Now, negative 2 plus 5 is 3, so that's perfect. So we can forget about the second solution. Now we know that this is a quadratic, so it's going to be x plus or minus something times x plus or minus something. And so we just figured out that it's going to be x minus 2 times x plus 5 equals 0. You can check this by multiplying this out and seeing that we get x squared plus 3x minus 10. Now what does this tell us? That tells us that x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 5 equals 0. So if x minus 2 equals 0, then x equals 2, and if x plus 5 equals 0, x equals minus 5. So these are our solutions for this quadratic equation. Now, let's move on to B. X squared minus 16 equals 0. So notice, x squared is a square, and 16 is a square. 16 is 4 squared. So here we have the difference of two squares, which means that we're going to have something of the form x plus a times x minus a. And so in this case, our square 16 is 4 squared, so we're going to have an x plus 4 times x minus 4. And so what does this tell us? That tells us that x plus 4 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. So here, from x plus 4, we get x equals minus 4, and from x minus 4 equals 0, we get x equals 4. So these are our solutions. Now let's move on to the last one. So here we have 3x squared minus 2x equals 8. So first, let's move 8 to the other side. So we'll subtract 8 from both sides to rewrite this as 3x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Now we want to factor the left-hand side. So the x squared has coefficient 3, which is prime. So this is going to factor like 3x plus or minus something times x plus or minus something equals 0. So first we want to find two numbers that multiply to minus 8. So we can have 4 times minus 2, which is minus 8, or we can have minus 4 times 2, which is also minus 8. Now we want to get something that's going to multiply with 3 and add to get minus 2. So here, if we try 3 times minus 2 plus 4, so using the solutions from the first equation, we get minus 6 plus 4, which is minus 2. So what this tells us is that we're going to need to do 3x times minus 2, and then x times 4. And so if we factor this, we should get that it factors or multiplies out to get 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. Great. So now, what does that tell us? That tells us that 3x plus 4 equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0. So if 3x plus 4 equals 0, then 3x equals minus 4, and I can divide both sides by 3 to get x equals minus 4/3. And now from x minus 2 equals 0, we get x equals 2 by adding x to both sides. So these are our two solutions for this equation. If this video was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe.